What's the weirdest thing that ever happened to you that made you think that God?
It was July 2015. I was still living with my dad. My dad and my brother was at the barber, so I was alone at home. I just came back from college, and it was like around 4 or 5 p.m. Outside our neighborhood, there was a lot of kids outside playing. There were dogs. It was very noisy that day. So I was outside the home just minding my business on my phone, and then I go inside the house to get, I think it was water. And while I'm inside the home walking towards the kitchen, I hear a loud trumpet as if somebody was playing the trumpet, just one note, inside my home. And it was so loud, the only thing that I could hear was the trumpet. I was like, what was that? And I went outside to check if it was somebody outside. When I went outside, none of the kids were there. There was no birds, there was no kids, there were no dogs, and it was everything. It was so quiet. Like when you go to a that never neighborhood, it was just like that. Like nobody was there, and it took me a moment to process, and I started freaking out, and I started calling all of the family that I knew that they were Christians, and none of them answered the phone. No, my grandma, no, my cousin, no, my aunt, nobody answered the phone. So I started freaking out. And then I realized it hit me. I'm like, oh my goodness, it's true. It's true. Oh my goodness, I was left behind. God came for his people. And I'm left behind. I started crying and I started just screaming, please give me a chance. Please give me a chance. Please give me a chance. Don't leave me behind. And I kept calling and texting, and nobody, no even text, no on Facebook. Nobody answered me. My dad, nobody. An hour and some change passed, and the only person that called me back was my cousin. And she said, hey, Michelle, what's up? And I started crying, but I tried to hide it for her not to notice that I was crying. But I felt like I had such a relief in my soul that she called me, because I know she was Christian, that she is Christian. So she called me and said, hey, Michelle, I have a missed call. What happened? Oh, nothing. It's just, just to know how y'all we've been doing, all that. And she told me, I've been meaning to call you, but I didn't know how to approach you. And I started crying, and she freaked out. She told me, what's up? Why'd you crying? And I told her what happened. And she told me, I've been having you in my mind. And she asked me if I knew the Lord as my Savior, and if I died that day, if I knew if I was going to heaven or not. And I told her no. I knew I was going to go to hell. And she guided me through how to get saved and how to trust the Lord as my Savior. And I got saved. I don't remember the day, but it was on July 2015. And that was one of the many situations that I have a very close encounter, or like the very presence of God shaking my soul to the core.